Great.
Fellas, welcome back to Wiseman Company. Today we're going to look at an optic that I was actually very excited about when it came out. It's been out for a little bit, over a year at least, maybe two, and that is the Aimpoint RDS Duty. Nice to see Aimpoint offering a competitive priced red dot. Some of you might even say it's not very cheap, and it's not, but it's certainly lower than its predecessor, brother, cousin, whatever you want to call it, the T-2 H2. And that's the form factor it's kind of based off of. As you can see, very small, not smaller than the T2, but pretty close. And it's priced very aggressively at around 500 bucks. This was sent to me by Optics Planet. Thank you, Optics Planet, for sending this out for review. I'm not sponsored by Optics Planet. I don't get paid by Optics Planet. I've bought a ton of optics from Optics Planet in the past. Their prices are always very competitive, and they have a large inventory. But full disclosure, they sent me this for the video. I wanted to try it out. Let's jump into some quick specs on the Aimpoint Duty RDS. So battery life is going to be 30,000 hours, and that's going to be on setting 7, I believe. That is about half of the battery life of the T2. It's going to use a 2023 battery. It has 4 night vision settings, so night vision settings are still there. Those are not deleted. It has buttons for the adjustment, an up and a down arrow. They're very tactile. You can feel them very easily. I'm not seeing them right now, but in the dark, you could definitely tell, oh, that's an up arrow, that's a down arrow. There's no dial like you would see on a T2. The T2 has a dial. This just has rubberized buttons. We flip it to the other side, you're going to see your battery compartment. Your turrets are kind of submerged underneath the housing. You'll need a tool to change your elevation and windage. That might piss some people off, but it keeps them from getting bumped and accidentally turned. You have to be very intentional about turning these turrets. It does come with a tool. You can use a little star bit, or if you have the Aimpoint tool, you can adjust the turrets. At first, for me, I'll be honest, that was a little aggravating, but I get it. You're not going to be able to bump these turrets or change them. When I zeroed the dot, I was done. Keep the tool nearby if you're that concerned. Price point, 500 bucks for this bad boy. 500 bucks, and that is about half the price, almost half the price of a T2. T2s are ridiculously expensive, $800, $900, maybe more. That's a lot. That's a lot. That price has not changed. It's an old optic, and that price hasn't changed much over the years, except up. It is going to come with scope caps, these little flip-up caps. The back is clear, the front is blacked out. I'm going to keep them on for a little bit, but eventually I break off every scope cap, so I'm just mentally preparing for that to happen, okay? Now, the mounting options for this. It came with the mount it's on, and it's going to set it at around a lower 1/3, but it's not. As you can see here, the housing is a little bit extended. It's larger, and this is probably to beef up the optic, but the issue with that is it sets it higher. So when you're selecting a mount, you need to be cognizant of that, because this is actually going to be a little higher than probably what you anticipated if you're visualizing a T2. T2's set lower. That's the best way to explain it. There's some material down here that puts it up a little higher. There's a lot of great videos on this. The picture I'm pulling from right now is from Mr. Guns and Gear. He has a great video on this optic, but that is one feature you need to be aware of. It's going to set a little higher. With the release of this optic, I have to just kind of ask, like, what would be the point of spending $900 for a T2 now that this is available? I'm going to save almost $400, $500 by going with this. Is it as rugged? Probably not. Does it have as long as battery life as the T2? No. But still, 3 years is decent, and it's better than an EOTech if you're really concerned about battery life. Most of my guns have batteries on the gun, you know, spare batteries on the gun. So battery life isn't a huge concern. The dot is crisp, it's clear, it's a 2 MOA dot. Same Aimpoint customer service. If it breaks, you know, in my mind, it's really hard to justify purchasing in the year 2024 an Aimpoint T-2 over a Duty RDS. I don't know if the Aimpoint T-2 is going anywhere, if they're going to retire it. I'm sure they have still a ton of military contracts they're fulfilling. But for the average dude out there, this is a no-brainer. Really, this is what you want right here. I don't think there's any Aimpoint optic that's available right now, as far as their line goes, their product line, that is better than this for the money, right? You got Aimpoint Pros, who's probably cheaper, but still, this is smaller profile, better battery life, more rugged, I'd like to say. Any of the comps, it's going to be cheaper than. This is probably the best thing going for Aimpoint right now if you're the consumer. Like I always say, the best test of durability is time. So this thing is going to stay on this little Zenith for a while. It's probably going to move to some other guns. I'm going to keep banging it around, let you guys know how it holds up. I would imagine I'm not going to have any issues. I very rarely ever have an issue with an Aimpoint. Not to say I've never had any, but they're rare. And I'm going to keep using it, keep banging it around, and let you guys know if anything happens to it. If you have any questions about this optic, please leave them down below. Again, I think this is a good buy if you're in the market for a robust little red dot, you know, European made. Gotta say thank you again to Optics Planet for sending this out to me. Guys, go over to Optics Planet if you're in the market for an optic. Great inventory selection over there. Great price points. They're very competitive. I've bought a lot of stuff from Optics Planet, like I said before. Go check them out if you're in the market. If you want to support us, go to wisemancompany.com. We have a ton of great gear over there, and it directly supports us. It helps us make these videos, and it helps you guys out, honestly. It's high quality gear, it's shipped to you quick. Leave me a comment down below if you have any of our gear. I'd like to hear from you. And if you want to support us, go over there and purchase something. Really appreciate it. My name's Ben. We'll see you on the next video.